Hey guys, I'm Brittnee N. Smith, and I want to thank you for tuning into my session about branding and 5 things you need to know when you're developing your brand. Obviously, it's me, so we're going to have a good time. I want you to get your notes together, get your notepads out, and head on into 5 things you should know when developing your brand. Hey, Roadmap to Destiny crew. Listen, I know it's only 10 a.m. and it's the second day of the conference, but man, the sessions that we've had so far have been spectacular, bananas, crazy. I mean, I seriously can't even believe that the conference is like halfway over already. Time flies when you're having fun. But nevertheless, I am super excited to be here with you guys. This is the favorite part, my favorite part of what I do. Yes, I love to design things and create things, but I love talking to the people. So if we haven't met, my name is Brittnee N. Smith, and I am your favorite graphic designer, web designer, and creative brand strategist. Listen, what I do is I help people get their ideas out of their head and into their hands, whether it's for their brand, their organization, their business, even family projects. I help you get your ideas out of your head and into your hands, your visual ideas, right? And so I provide graphic design services, I provide web design services, and I help with creative strategy. I help you figure out how to execute those things that are in your head. And I want to help entrepreneurs and small business owners and families like you who want to blow their audiences away with visual identity and beautiful design. I want to help you. If you have a brand or something that you need to make look good, I'm your girl for the job. I use my creative superpowers to help design the visual components of what you got going on. And ideas are what I do. Okay. You'll find in any session with me, whether it's a consultation or a strategy session or just a everyday conversation, I'm always giving out ideas for what you can do to present what you have to the world in a beautiful and excellent way. And so being here at the Roadmap to Destiny conference is really a special opportunity for me because I started my business to build legacy for my family, to create the life that I wanted to live. Do you hear what I'm saying? The life that I wanted to live. So I started my business so that I could have financial freedom. I started my business so that I could manage my own time and do what I wanted when I wanted. Come on, somebody. But then I also started my business because I wanted to be able to have unlimited impact on the lives and the types of people that I was called to impact. I wanted to be freed up to do what I was created to do. And so that is what I'm here to do today with you guys. And listen, I need you to understand that you're not in this thing by yourself. I know what it's like to try and build and develop a profitable business and be a mama and have your kids in school and be in ministry and have relationships that you still want to manage. It can get crazy. It can get crazy. Not to mention that when you are starting a business or an organization, there are lots and lots of things that you simply just do not know. And one of those things that people often fall short in is the area of branding. It's the area of branding. We live in a DIY society. Everyone wants to do it themselves. There are websites upon websites. There are downloads upon downloads. There are videos upon videos that lend themselves to a do-it-yourself mindset. And I'm all for it. Listen, I started my business 7 years ago. I created my first website. I don't have training in graphic design and web design. I am a do-it-yourself queen. That's where I came from. But I have a natural knack for design. I have a natural eye for it. And just because you can do it yourself, in a lot of cases, doesn't mean that you should do it yourself. Whether it's for the sake of saving money or the fact that you have control issues and you don't feel like you can trust anybody and you feel like you don't need any help. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. I was one of those people. Just because you can do it yourself doesn't mean that you should. And your brand is not something that you want to take a chance with, because you only have one chance to make a first impression. It's the first thing that people see when they are connecting with your product or with your service. So if you have a shoddy presentation, they're going to think shoddy when they think of you. Right? And so we want to make sure that we're giving them something good to base their decisions off of, because they'll look at your flyer, they'll look at your labels and decide whether or not they really want to work with you. It is that serious. And in a world where there are new businesses and entrepreneurs popping up every second of every day, you can't afford to slack or to cut corners in the area of your branding. You can make or break the success of your business with your branding, with good or bad branding. And yes, there is such a thing as bad branding. There is such thing as bad branding. So today, my friends, listen, I'm here to help you avoid something that I like to call death by DIY. Okay? Death by DIY. You will kill your own dreams by trying to do everything yourself. And as a graphic designer, my goal, my sole purpose of existence in this business is to help you effectively communicate your brand message in a way that is presentable, in a way that is excellent, in a way that is effective, and in a way that makes sense. You want your visual presentation to look nice and make sense. It needs to look nice and it needs to make sense. It needs to look nice and make sense, okay? And when I hear people use the word graphics and DIY together, I get a little nervous because not everyone is gifted to just be able to pick it up and create something. And the type of designs that you make, whether you're starting out or whether you have experience, will determine the types of clients that you get, all right? For somebody, what you create is fine. But if you want sustainable business, you have to be professional and present in a professional way. And here's why. We've all heard a gazillion times on many occasions that everyone has something that they're good at. Every single one of you out there watching right now has something. You got something in there that you are good at. And I want you to do what you're good at. You can make money doing what you're good at, but you can also lose money doing what you're not good at. Okay, I'm doing what I'm good at with the design and with the strategy, and you need to do what you're good at with your services and with your products. And in your business, let me slow down because I'm getting excited. In your business, there is a very real principle at work that is time is money. Time is money. Every moment that you spend doing something that you're mediocre at, you are foregoing that time. You are forfeiting that time in doing something that you're exceptional at, right? And that is what we don't want. You're wasting time and money by doing things that you are not gifted to do. So let's think about a live example. Let's say you want to make $75 in your business an hour. And let's say you have to make a flyer to promote your product. And let's say it takes you 3 hours to get that flyer to your liking and where you can post it. You, my friend, just spent $225 on that flyer when you could have paid me $75 for that flyer. I was going to say that same flyer, but it wouldn't be the same flyer. You could pay me $75 and I can get that flyer done in an hour or less. And you're totally freed up to do that thing that you're gifted in doing. I need you to value your time. You've got to value your time, period. Okay? Period. With a T at the end. You have to value your time. And when you jam yourself up doing those things that are not really at the top of your skill set list, you are really suffocating your success. You're suffocating your impact limits. You're limiting yourself in the area of impact. And you, your business, your family, your clients, everyone suffers. Everyone suffers when you are doing those things that you're not that great at and you're putting all your time and energy into that, because everything else connected to you will suffer as a result. And listen, I'm not beating you up, okay? We're friends here. It happens all the time. There are people out there right now doing business right now, making money right now. I know they have incredible products. I know they have fantastic services, but their visuals look homemade. And they are limiting themselves as we speak. They're limiting themselves to the types of clients they're going to be able to attract because of their homemade graphics. Okay? It's just not good. And let's be honest. Let's raise our hand. Raise your hands. I know I can't see you right now, but let's pretend that I can. Raise your hand if you know somebody with a business, with an organization, with anything that they're sharing on social media, and you know that they did their own graphics and it's not good. Come on, raise your hand. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It is very, very sad because you're wasting your time and your energy trying to do something that you can really outsource, right? The product could be the bomb.com, but if your presentation is trash, you're going to get little to no engagement on your presentation. Right? I've seen book covers with people, their pictures are pixelated and then they're on the cover, but they're kind of floating on the side in an awkward kind of way. And then the book title is like, Live Your Best Life. And I'm like, bro, I can't trust you or your book cover. I'm not buying it because it looks scary. Right? And so like, we want to prevent that. If you're just starting your business, if you're designing a brand for your destiny, for your family's business, for your organization, these are the things you want to avoid. That is death by DIY. And you might say, you know what, Brittnee, you're being kind of harsh on us people. We're just trying our best. We're trying to do our best. That's fine. That's fine. I understand. But listen, you can't tell me that you can't afford a designer. And here's why. There are a cajillion designers in the whole wide world, all on a spectrum of cost. There's somebody out there that you can afford. And you can't tell me that you can't afford a designer or you can't afford to invest in your graphics, because I'm going to say you can't afford not to. There are websites like Fiverr.com, Fiverr, Fiverr.com, where every service on there starts at $5. So you can legitimately get a logo, you can get a flyer, you can get some social media graphics done for $5. The cost of a Chick-fil-A sandwich or a Starbucks drink, which I'm about to go get in a few minutes right now after this. Right? There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Now, obviously with websites like that, it's not a personal client experience. You don't get to kind of really work through those things that you're looking for with that person like you would working with someone like me. But if budget is truly your issue, you can start there. And there's probably, now that we're talking about it, outside of branding, there's probably a whole list of things in your business that you can outsource to someone else. And Fiverr is a great place to start if you have no idea where to go for those kinds of things. So now that we've laid the groundwork, let's talk about 5 basic ideas that you need to consider as you are building your brand, as you are planning your brand. Many of you are getting started with your business. Many of you are refreshing and revisiting. So let's talk about 5 things. The first one is purpose. This is huge. You've got to know why you exist as a business. Why does your organization exist? Why do you do what you do? If you can't answer that outside of, oh, I want to make money, you need to pause. You need to pause, because when things get challenging in your business, and they will, when things get challenging as you're trying to build your organization, and they will, there has to be something else fueling your fire other than I want to make money, because money oftentimes doesn't come easy in the beginning. Money doesn't flow as soon as you put your "we're open" sign up, right? And so you need to know why you're doing what you're doing. It's easier to collect the coin when you have concentrated your commitment. It's easier to collect the coin when you have concentrated and proven your commitment. Why does it matter if you fail or not? I need you to think about that. Why does it matter if you fail or not? And the answer to that question, whatever it is, that's going to keep you focused and driven to work hard for your success. When you know what your purpose is, there's always another group of people that's going to be waiting to hear why you're doing what you're doing. You're not always going to be working by yourself. You're working with your family. Eventually, you're going to have to build a team. You need to be able to communicate to your team why we do what we do, so that they can then take the vision, Habakkuk, right? 2 and 2. They can then take the vision and run with it. And then your business can truly grow and thrive. I'm looking for interns right now. I need to be able to communicate my vision to them so that they can run with it. All right. So the first P is purpose. That's number 1. Number 2, número dos, is people. You have got to know. You've got to know who it is you're trying to serve. And no, precious, no, you can't serve everybody. You cannot serve everyone. What problem do you feel passionately compelled to solve? There's a very specific group of people that have that problem and can be best served by the way that you present the solution. There is a group of people for you. They are your tribe. You have to find them and then serve their socks off. And I can understand that it can be challenging to narrow down who you're called to reach when you're just starting out, because you literally want to serve everybody. You want to get everybody's money, right? But at the end of the day, You are served and they are served better when it's a good fit. All right. And when you know who you're trying to reach, then you can package your product the right way. Then you can advertise with the right messaging, right? You can effectively solve their problem better when you know exactly who you're trying to reach, and you get more fulfillment out of the work you do. Having your own business is hard work, y'all. It's hard. But you are more fulfilled when you're meeting the need of the right people, because you're getting the response that is going to be fulfilling to your soul. It's rewarding. It's more rewarding that way. And you don't create wealth from serving everybody. You create wealth from serving the right people. You might get rich from serving everybody, but you create wealth, which is that long-term, long-lasting riches, right? You create wealth by serving the right people. There are people that desperately need what you have, how you have it, and they need it from you. All right? And that's called finding your niche. That's called finding your niche, narrowing down and identifying who exactly it is that you are supposed to be reaching, so that you can sell to them and them only. All right. So that's the second one, people. Number three is product. Once you have narrowed down why you do what you do and what it is that what problem you solve and who you're solving it for, then you can tailor the types of products that you have to the group of people that you are called to serve. Here's an example. Let's say you love to write and you love to create content. And let's say that your target audience is teenage boys, and the problem that you want to solve is extreme boredom. All right. You love to write, you want to reach teenage boys, and you want to help them with the problem of extreme boredom. You could just write a book and just toss it out there and see, if anybody bites. But chances are, if your desired group or your desired target group is teenage boys, chances are the majority of them ain't trying to read no book. They're not trying to read a book, not voluntarily anyway. So you need to figure out a different way that you can use your writing to reach this audience. You may want to consider a product that is going to be more likely to be consumed by a teenage boy. What does that look like? Maybe you're writing content for a YouTube video, a YouTube channel, right? So you're talking to them, but you were able to write your content out. Maybe you can, do one of those card videos that has your writing up on cards and they're following along and reading. Maybe you're using TikTok or something like that, but you need to consider what your client wants and how you can match your solution with what they want. All right. That's number 3. Number 4, presentation. This is the part that everybody thinks about when they think about branding. They think about logo, they think about colors, and that's it. Well, this is just, as you can see, one of the 5 pillars. You've got to make it look nice. Gotta make it real compared to what? Nice. You gotta make it real nice compared to what? Your competition, right? So you need to make sure that your products look nice. You've got to choose colors that are agreeable together. Don't just choose what colors you like. Don't just choose what colors you like, okay? Because you may not be your target audience. A lot of times we create for people that are like us, but you need to make sure you find colors that are agreeable together. Many industries have certain colors that are ideal for that industry, like the financial industry. Green is one of the colors that they like to use. In the fast food industry, red or orange or yellow are colors that they like to use because colors have meaning, right? So you want to think about your product and think about what colors you need to use for your brand based on what kind of feelings you want to evoke or what kind of thoughts you want them to have, right? This is the face of your business that people will meet and make a determination as to whether or not they like you. Right? People do, yes, they do judge books by their covers. I do. I can say that unashamedly, right? I judge books by their covers, okay? And if you get me past the cover, then I'll read the description and determine whether or not I want to purchase. So you want to make sure your branding looks nice. Don't just throw something together, okay? And then lastly, number 5 is the platform. The platform. You've got to know where to show up, all right? Using our example from before, if you're trying to reach teenage boys, you're not going to be promoting on LinkedIn. Unless you're trying to reach their parents or other businesses that lend themselves to that audience, right? So you want to identify your crowd and then understand where they hang out so you know that if you post on Instagram that they're going to see it. I cannot stress that enough. It's great that you have all this content, but if you're posting it in places that your people are not, they will not see it. So you need to identify if you're going to be heavy on social media, if you're going to be heavy on, person-to-person marketing or relational marketing in people's inboxes, if you're going to be on a business-to-business level, and you're reaching out on a LinkedIn type platform and things like that, or if you're going to use email marketing, your resources will be wasted if you show up in the wrong place. So that is a part of the research that you need to do, and that is a part of the things that you need to be intentional about when you're trying to identify how to market your brand. Showing up in the right place will help you be more effective and more successful. So let's do a bit of a recap, shall we? Here are some DIY do's and don'ts as it pertains to your branding. Now that we've laid out our 5 pillars, we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts that you need to keep in mind as you are developing your brand. So here's the first one. Do have an idea of what tasks that you can do, or what tasks you can do and still be efficient and effective in your business. Do have a list of tasks that you can do effectively. Don't do it yourself simply because you're trying to save money. That's not going to get you there, and you will wear yourself out. You may be saving in dollars in the moment, but you're losing in value in the long run. So make sure you are really honest with yourself about what you can do and what you can't do, and draw a real line there so that you're not running yourself into the ground and being on that hamster wheel of activity within your brand. All right. So that's the first one. Make sure that you are communicating well with the people around you, because that will also determine who you get to work with and how you use those people in your business so that everybody wins. All right. Number 2 is do share more educational, value-adding content, content that's focused on serving the people. Don't just sell. Okay. Don't inundate your audience with things that they don't need, because if all I see is selling, I'm going to feel like all you want is my money. And that's a yucky feeling for me to have. So I know it's a yucky feeling for my clients to have. So make sure you're engaging with people. Show them that you're an expert in the area that you're serving them in, whether it's baking or fashion or graphics. You want to share other content that shows that you are an expert in that particular area. Number 3, do watch what your competitors are doing in terms of content and things that they're offering. Be sure to stay up to date with what's going on and what's relevant in your industry, so that you can be relevant, right? You want to be relevant to what's happening and you can stay in the same vein of conversation. But don't just copy what people are doing. Don't just take what they posted, the quote that they posted, and change the background and then put it up on your own page. Use it for information, use it for inspiration, but then create your own spin on what it is that you see everyone else is doing, so that you are in the mix but not a duplicate. All right. Number 3. Number 4, do settle on an agreeable color palette like we talked about. Make sure you run it past some friends and run it past some people that are in your target audience. Make sure it's something that is appealing and acceptable in the public eye. Don't, though, change your look and your colors every other week. People need to feel like they can trust you. Okay. We need to be able to look at the design and know that this came from Brittnee Smith Creative, that this came from insert your business name. All right. You want to make sure you're using colors that attract your specific audience, and you want to be consistent. If you don't remember anything else with your branding, whatever you do, be consistent, be consistent, be consistent, be consistent, be intentional about being consistent when you're building your brand. That is what's going to make people trust you. That is what's going to keep people on your bandwagon. That's what's going to keep people interested in what you're doing. The next one, I think this is my last one. Do form partnerships and collaborations with other people, both inside your industry and outside of your industry. You need to get comfortable with working together. You are not an island, and you can't rely solely, and this is the don't rely solely on your own ideas to serve your community. You have a limited mind space or a limited level of understanding in terms of, what's going on in the industry and stuff like that. Like, we don't know everything, right? We can be honest in that. And so when you collaborate with other people, you can then use their content for your audience. Hey guys, I have sister such and such, or I have Miss Susie whoever, and they have a great article on X, Y, and Z. Hear ye her, right? Don't do it all yourself. be smarter and don't work harder, right? So you want to make sure that you utilize that as an option when you're serving your community. One, it alleviates you from having to work and do everything. But two, you get to learn from other people. All right. So those are some do's and don'ts that I want you to keep in mind as you are building and developing your brand. So I want you and your family to succeed. I want you to succeed in your business. I want your brand to be off to a strong start, and so I'm here to help you. If you need ideas on what your next step should be, I can help you. Wherever you are, I can help you. If you need vision for your logo and for your color palette, I can help you work through and talk through, okay, if you're in this industry, if you're trying to reach these people, what your logo should possibly look like. If you need help identifying who your ideal client is, I've got a workbook. I can help you identify those things, right? I want to make sure that you are getting off to a good start. And so I want you to reach out to me so that we can talk strategy. I want to talk strategy with you. I want to book a strategy session, or I want you to book a strategy session with me. Normally they're $149, but for you guys that are watching, you can book your strategy session today for just $99. So you're saving $50 on a strategy session, and I'm telling you, the ideas always flow. Like it is a gift of mine. I'm grateful to God for it. It's what I love to do. Strategy sessions are my favorite because, again, I get to talk to you face to face. And so you can book your strategy session with me at bit.ly/BSC strategy 99. Make sure you put it in all caps. That's BSC STRATEGY 99, BSC strategy 99. And make sure you book it that way. I'll put up make sure that I put up a slide here so you can see it. If you want to contact me on my website, it's BrittneeSmithCreative.com. I'd love to serve you by doing my job well so you can do yours exceptionally. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this session. Again, I am just totally floored by what we've accomplished so far in the conference. There's so many nuggets that we have taken away. I want to see you if you are a VIP attendee, I have a live Q&A session that we're getting ready to go into right after this on Zoom. So if you are a VIP attendee, you should have the link to that. I'm going to meet you over there. Listen, if you join me for the live Q&A, you can ask me anything. You can ask me anything. I'm probably going to end up giving ideas in that Q&A as well because it just happens that way. So I want you to tell me, I want to talk to you, and I want you to tell me what kind of business you have or what kind of ideas you have. And then I can shoot back right with you on Zoom and help you figure out what your next step is going to be. All right. So make sure you visit me. If you're a VIP or premier guest, I want you to make sure you come with me over into the Q&A, into the Zoom. If you're not VIP or premier and you're a general attendee, you get to take a break. Go ahead and grab some snacks, grab something to drink. And then we have Dr. Celeste coming up at 11. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm telling you, there's so many nuggets that you can grasp. And it's a beautiful thing because all of the nuggets are to feed the family. It is time for the families to come back together. It is time for the families to operate as a unit. No longer everybody doing their own thing, but how can we do our family thing, right? How can we do our own things under the umbrella of the family thing? So the lineup that's coming up, we're not done yet, guys. It's going to keep going up. So make sure that you are tuned in, locked in, and I will see some of you in the Q&A. I'll see the rest of you in the conference. See you later. Woo! I know that was a lot of information, but I hope I helped somebody. I hope I helped somebody out there who's developing their brand or planning to revamp or whatever. You cannot go out there half-stepping when it comes to your branding. If you have questions that you want to ask me right now and you are a premier or VIP attendee, I want you to head on over to the Q&A session right now. I'm going to be over there live to ask or answer any questions that you might have. But if you're not in that group, listen, I want you to email me or visit me on my website, BrittneeSmithCreative.com, so we can have a conversation. If you're not heading over to the Q&A right now, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you with Dr. Celeste at 11 o'clock.